7:33. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Patterson? Here. Henderson here. Conan?
Here.
Grant?
Here.
Rumble? Here. Galecki?
Here. So, approval of agenda. Anybody got anything?
Nobody?
Okay, so I do. So I want to make tonight's agenda mirror January's agenda. So I don't want the DDA business separated out of the Planning Commission. I want it set back into the Planning Commission, so we exit the Planning Commission, go into the DDA, exit the DDA, back into planning. So then I'd like a number 7 to be an update on 3 properties. So it would be 73543 Fulton Street, 73085 Fulton Street, and Fritz. So then I'd like to have the DDA report can be either, how about we'll make the DDA report right after that update. Then I've got a little training thing I'd like to go over, so we'll make that number 9, and then chair report 10 and 11. I think I missed the DDA part. So anybody have any?
Say that again. So number 7's those updates. What's after that?
Okay,
DDA,
so
right?
So after the site plan thing, I don't think the applicant's going to be here. But the update on the 2 properties in Fritz. So make that 7. So then we could do number 8 as the DDA report.
It's not really a number, but that's
Okay,
fine.
so set it in there. And then public comment. And then the chair report. Or excuse me, or before the chair report would be training, then the chair report, and then adjournment.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with those changes? If there's no objection, how about a motion to approve as amended?
Yep, motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so meeting minutes from January 4th meeting.
Christie needs to amend them. I need to amend them. I left Vice Chair Patterson called the meeting to order, so it has to be amended to Chair Galecki. And anything else anybody saw?
The February meeting,
I
that got changed on here?
It's fixed.
Okay.
I sent you an email, you may not have seen it.
Okay.
You got Ben calling the meeting to order, you said.
That's the amended part of it.
Yeah.
That's amended.
A motion to approve as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Okay, so the update on the 73543 Fulton property, the Joseph Herman property, was he was supposed to come in with drawings and stuff. Did that happen?
It has not. I talked to somebody that works in his office on Friday, and she again asked what paperwork he needed to bring in, and told me as soon as she could go to the township office to see if the field sheet gave the better dimensions, she would have it to me hopefully this week. So no, have not seen it.
So then how about 73085,
He's-
Bolton Leary's?
Still waiting to finalize the sale. The county has it's got to do something to clear the deed before we can finish the easement.
How about the agreement between the village on the
That's the
water
easement
runoff?
thing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right, okay.
so can't finish
Oh,
that until he
Okay,
purchases.
so you can't do the property, he owns the property to do the easement, okay, all right, okay.
And what was the one it's the one on the Crumbs property?
Correct, yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to bring in a drawing that shows his building dimensions and his
Right.
parking lot. Somebody from his office, I don't know if it was his wife or just a girl that works there, called and talked to me on Friday about a water bill, but then we got talking and I specifically said he was supposed to be bringing this stuff in, so I gave her the list of stuff and she's hoping to get it to me this week.
Okay.
Okay, so what did we do with the Fritz refund? Did we give him money, or is he still out in limbo?
No, we did refund his money.
Okay, so we're done with that,
Correct.
okay.
And he never called to say why, so.
Okay, well, then he was happy to give money. Okay, so now we'll exit the planning commission section of the meeting and go into the DDA meeting. So call to order for the DDA meeting.
At 7:40.
Yeah, 7:40, yeah, correct. So the purpose of this is the DDA budget, which we already passed, sent to council, they passed, and now it comes back to us to adopt. So, correct? Okay.
You presented it, they approved it, now you.
So they
Adopted.
approved it as we
as
presented it,
Yeah.
so there's no changes or anything, so all we're doing is really
Officially.
adopting what we've already presented. So does anybody have a need to go over it again, or can we just adopt what we've previously gone over?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good.
Sarah, Christie,
Yep, good.
good, okay. So this is the, so are we adopting the budget and paying the bills?
Well, this is the part about the bills, she put it all in one motion.
Okay, yeah,
That
okay.
allows her to pay the bills
Do I vote on this?
as they come in.
Did you vote?
Okay, so.
I would abstain. I don't remember if you voted.
I don't think I voted, well,
It's not a big deal because it's only a motion to accept at the council level.
okay,
You did vote.
Okay,
okay.
So you
I
have
didn't
to-
vote in the meeting.
okay.
So you have to abstain this time. So, okay, so this is the DD8 budget resolution fiscal year 4/01/21 through 3/31/22. Be it resolved that at the regular meeting of the Village of Armada Planning Commission, on behalf of the Downtown Development Authority, DDA, consisting of a quorum of more duly called and held on February 1st, 2021, the following resolution was adopted that the DDA authority adopt by majority vote of its members the 2021 to 2022 operating budget of all revenues and expenditures of the DDA funds as presented by the DDA treasurer. Be it further resolved that the DDA treasurer Joe Adair is authorized to make all deposits of the funds due to the DDA to the appropriate bank accounts of the DDA, as well as authority to make prompt payments to any/all bond and bond-related expenses. So then there's a signature of the chair and the vice chair dated, and now we need a roll call vote.
Motion by?
Yeah, motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Conan, you're abstaining? Yes? Conan, you're abstaining?
I think I can vote on this.
No, you can't. You can only vote once.
Okay, I won't vote on it.
You're
Patterson?
abstaining.
Yep, I abstain.
Yes. Grand?
Yes.
Rumble?
Yes.
Bilecki?
Yes.
I need both of those signed by both people.
Oh, we only signed one. Okay, so, public comment?
Well,
Oh, what do we need?
we didn't address, and you only commented that he might not be here, so we weren't gonna do that, we just kind of skipped over him.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can go, let's go on to the DDA and then we'll go back to that. So, I have no public comment, no chair report on the DDA, adjournment of the DDA portion of our meeting. We don't vote on that, I just say it's adjournment. So now we're entering back into the regular planning commission meeting. So, I didn't talk about the site plan of 74026 Teets. I was just, since the applicant didn't come here tonight, I was going to address that in the planning, in my chair report. But since it's brought up, so I did talk to that fella and a representative of his a couple of times over the last week. They submitted something that you have. They were told that that was insufficient as far as the drawing goes. Excuse me. They needed to have more information on your drawing. I helped him out with the direction. I even met with somebody on Saturday. They were supposed to get back with me today if they had any further developments, but apparently they didn't, so apparently, and I told them that if they didn't have that drawing completed, that they wouldn't pass planning tonight, so that's probably why they didn't come.
Well, they knew.
Okay, so then there's training. So we talked about training a zillion times, and so I kind of came up with something, I'm just going to kind of go over this a little bit. So training foremost, for the most part, planning is a visionary process. So it's really not just, what we do on a basis that we're here and kind of looking at site plans and ordinances and stuff. But this is really the fun part of planning, where you're looking at the future. You're looking at where we are today, where you want to go. It's the word visionary. So you're looking for the future, and really, it's kind of like stepping out of the box and looking what's possible. What's next on the horizon? So where do we want to go? It's not really it's where we're at today, but where do you want to go tomorrow? So, and it's all within reason. There's a lot of stuff with visionary that's in the master plan. The master plan gets bogged down with statistics, but once you get past the statistics, it's kind of a lot of fun. I mean, it just, and your master plan and your visioning, that's where pretty much all your decisions after the ordinance should go back to the master plan. So no matter what the ordinance says, so you follow those guidelines, but those guidelines all have to correspond with what the master plan says. So really, to be a well-rounded planning member, you should be well-versed in the master plan and the code of ordinances. So not just the code of ordinance, but the master plan. So the master plan, you look at something, does it fit? Okay, so for the most part, most things fit in a square hole in a square box, but sometimes it's a round peg in a square hole? Does it fit? Can you make it adjustments? Is there enough gray areas in the zoning ordinances to make it work? If there's not those gray ordinances, then you look at the master plan. What's the master plan say for that property? So really, the master plan is more of a key element than what we've kind of gone through at the Planning Commission to date. So I really kind of wanted to bring that one up and stress that in your future, if you could check out the master plan, look at it, and see what you want to do for tomorrow. What you like about today, what you think is going to happen, and so forth. So. So then you kind of look at the ordinances. So the ordinance and directives are the nuts and bolts of planning, and that's kind of what we're doing in our ongoing day-to-day process. But I kind of wrote this so I could read it, but I'm not very good at reading something, so I'm better at it living. But then I forget about where I was. So bear with me here a little bit. So, and in our day-to-day activities, so just kind of like I said with the applicant from Teat Street, it's our job, it's the job of the Planning Commission Chair, I believe, to help the applicants navigate through the Planning Commission process. It's not really just giving them some paperwork and letting them come to a meeting. To me, it's more walking them through the process, making sure they've got all their I's dotted, their T's crossed, and when they come here, they're knowledgeable about what the process is and what we expect of them and what they expect of us. So all that can be done through their researching of the ordinance, but as the chair's guidance through that process before they even come to the Planning Commission. And as individual Planning Commission members, prior to coming to a meeting, you need to, and I believe you've pretty much all done this, but you need to look at the application. What's the applicant really desired? What's their usage going to be? How does that fit the zoning ordinance? How does it fit the surrounding areas? So we really need to not only look at the paper, but look at the physical property itself and the surrounding properties of that property in question. So how does it fit not just that location in the ordinance, but in relation to the properties surrounding that location? Anybody got any questions so far? Okay, hearing none. So then I've got some stuff that I'd like to hand out. So has everybody seen the site plan application? Yeah. Okay, Kevin? Okay, so I don't need to do that. So this is a site plan checklist. So this is really kind of supposed to be handed out originally to the applicant.
It is included in the whole package.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if you guys have actually seen this.
All the time.
So this is what they get with their application. So for them to say they really don't know what's expected of them, it's kind of black and white. So also I have two of these, which is another checklist. So I only have 2 of these, but you can kind of look these over, and I don't want it back. But then, so then going on to training, what we've done in the past is a lot of times it's been through seminars, going away to different places and listening to what somebody else has come up with a scenario to teach you about planning. So, but we've also done something where we contracted Rowe to come in, and not Rowe, excuse me, McKenna, to come in and give us a training session that we've kind of outlined as what we want to be trained on. So I think that's the next step for training, to figure out what you want to learn about, what you feel that is most needed to be explained to you. So give McKenna a brief outline of what you'd like to look at. Get some feedback from them as far as what that would entail, and they'll give you probably some feed-offs of those original requests, and then you get to tailor your own training seminar. We did it one time before, and actually monetarily it worked out better than everybody going to a class somewhere's put on by a planning commission association. So that's up to you guys to do. So anybody have questions so far?
So you can contract McKenna to do a tailor-made educational presentation for you?
Yeah, so that'd be done through the chair, but as a planning commission, then that's what you would do. Everybody would kind of get together. My suggestion would be to study the ordinance, study the master plan a little bit, and come up with what you think that where there's a need for additional knowledge. So then, after that's kind of, like I said, outlined, then if that outline is given to McKenna, then McKenna will take that outline, look at it, expand on that outline or expand on that outline and give you their scenario, and you look at it and say, okay, we like this, but we don't really need this.
What do we call it when we, special land use, or when we, when someone wants to get permission to do it, that's not quite the ordinance.
Special approval land use.
What?
Special approval land use.
Yeah.
SALU.
That would be good to cover that really good, I think.
Yeah, special approval land use is kind of always touchy, so Dave brought that up. I don't know who else on the planning is familiar with that term, but it's something that doesn't fit any of the criteria. So if you look on the charts, it'll say approved usage, special approval usage, not approved at all. So the special approval is a whole different process. So it's where you have public hearing. I always request the planner to be present at the public hearing. The public hearing is a notice for given out 15 days ahead of time. Somehow it's posted on the window at the office. It's also mailed out to all residents or property owners within 300 foot of said property. And how else is it advertised?
Doesn't have to be.
Oh, okay, so it used to be in the paper too, but anyway. So then people get to come in and talk about what they feel that property would, what their feelings are of that property coming in at that location. So one planner years ago said, Ben, if you have a whole bunch of people come in about said property, they're usually gonna have some kind of a gripe. Nobody's really gonna come in and say, hey, we really like this. So he said, don't go so much by the public coming in. Listen to them, ascertain what they're saying, and make relevant decisions upon that. But don't get bogged down by a minority volume. So again, the people that wouldn't really object to it aren't going to come. The people that are going to object to it are going to come. So just bear that in mind with it. But the special approval of land use, you get to dictate what the applicant can do with said property. So you might be able to say what their hours of operation are, how many employees they can have, what they can actually do with that facility. It's kind of a wide open thing because there's not really anything hard and fast. So that's really why you want the professional planner to be at that public hearing and then to guide you through that so that you don't come back later on with egg on your face. And that's why, and none of us are professionals, so that's really why you want the professional planner to be walking you through that whole process. So any other questions?
No, but that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Having a planner come in and talk about a couple of these subjects.
Yep.
That was not.
So this is my next handout, and
It's a coincidence if I just got it off.
this is my final handout. Okay. So I'd like to say that I've enjoyed serving on planning. I wish you all the best. If anybody wants to ever contact me over any type of thing, feel free. With that, motion to adjourn.
Well, Ben, this is the end of an era. How long have you been doing this?
Pretty much from the mid-90s.
And how long have you been chairman? Because you were on the board before you're chairman, right?
Yeah, I've been a chairman most of the time.
Guess I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ah.
Thanks very much.